What if you could get the absolute best ideas from 20 classic finance books without having to read a single page? Well, that's exactly what we're about to do. We're going to cut through all the noise and distill decades of wisdom into the key ideas that can genuinely change your financial life, starting right now.
I mean, have you ever felt just totally overwhelmed by all the financial advice out there? It's like you're buried under this mountain of books and blogs and so-called gurus. One says pinch every penny, the next one's screaming go big or go home. It's a lot, right? Honestly, it's enough to make you just want to throw your hands up and ignore it all.
So, to make sense of it all, we've synthesized everything into a clear 4-part journey. First up, we're going to talk about the foundation, your mindset. Then, we'll get into taking control of your money flow. After that, it's all about building the future, creating that lasting wealth. And finally, we'll get to the real payoff, living the good life. Ready? Let's dive in.
Okay, so section 1, the foundation, your mindset, and the single biggest idea that runs through almost all of these classics is this. Your relationship with money, it's not about spreadsheets or complicated formulas. It's about your life. Before we even touch a budget or talk about stocks, we've got to get our heads in the right place.
And that brings us to a really powerful, kind of life-changing question from the book Your Money or Your Life. It asks, what are you really trading your life for? Think about it. That job you have, it's not just about the paycheck. You are trading something way, way more valuable for that cash. What do you think it is? It's what the book calls your life energy. I mean, literally, the hours of your one precious finite life. And when you start to see money, not as dollars and cents, but as chunks of your life that you've traded away, man, it changes everything. This isn't just some philosophical idea. It becomes the lens through which you see every single purchase. It turns a financial decision into a life decision.
So, okay, how do we figure out what an hour of your life is actually worth, your true hourly wage? Well, you've got to look way past your paycheck. You have to add up all the real time your job sucks up. That commute, that counts. Unwinding after a stressful day, that counts too. And then you subtract all the hidden costs, the gas, the special clothes you have to buy, all those lunches out because you're just too wiped to pack one. When you do the math, the final number can be pretty shocking.
For example, the guy behind the Simple Dollar blog, he actually did this exercise, and he was floored. His true hourly wage came out to just $7 an hour. 7! Now, let that sink in. The next time you're thinking about buying, say, a $100 pair of sneakers, you don't ask, is this worth $100? You ask, is this worth almost 15 hours of my life? See how that completely reframes the decision? All right, so once that mindset shift clicks into place, everything changes. You move from that constant low-level anxiety about money to a feeling of being in control. And that's our next section, taking control of your money flow. This is where we get our hands dirty. First things first, we need to talk about what a millionaire actually looks like. And spoiler alert, it's not what you see on reality TV. The groundbreaking book, The Millionaire Next Door, completely blew this myth apart. It found that most real millionaires, well, you'd never know it. They're not the ones with the flashy cars and giant mansions. They're the ones who consistently live below their means, who budget, who avoid showing off. The big secret? Real wealth is what you don't see. Okay, but what if you're dealing with debt? How do you get control? This is where Dave Ramsey's famous debt snowball comes in, and it is an absolute game changer for millions. Here's the deal. You list all your debts, smallest to largest. Forget the interest rates for a second. You make minimum payments on everything except the little guy at the top. You attack that smallest debt with every extra dollar you have. Now, I know what you're thinking, but the math, the interest rates. And you're right, mathematically it's not the optimal path. But its power isn't in the math, it's in the psychology. Knocking out that first debt gives you this huge jolt of momentum, a quick win that tells your brain, hey, I can actually do this. Then you take that payment and roll it on to the next one. It's incredible to watch it work. All right, now for the part everyone loves. Building the future, lasting wealth. Once you're out of the debt hole, you can start building something amazing. And here's the best news I can possibly give you. It is so much simpler than the financial industry wants you to believe. You do not need to be a stock-picking wizard. You just need a simple, smart, long-term approach.
Let me tell you a secret that will save you so much stress and money over your lifetime. Are you ready? You cannot beat the stock market, and you shouldn't even try. Books like A Random Walk Down Wall Street have been screaming this for decades. The market is just too efficient, trying to find that one magic stock, that hidden gem. It's a loser's game. So what's the alternative?
Simple.
Instead of trying to beat the market, you own the market. And you do this with something called a low-cost index fund. Just think of it like this. An index fund is a giant basket holding tiny little pieces of hundreds or even thousands of companies. So by buying one share of that fund, you instantly own a tiny slice of the entire economy. Here's a classic example inspired by William Bernstein's work, a simple 4-fund portfolio. You get some US stocks, some international stocks, some bonds for stability, a little real estate, boom. You're diversified, you've spread your risk without any of the guesswork.
And this right here might be the most important investing principle of all. The key isn't being a genius stock picker. It's about two things: consistency and patience. Just keep investing month after month, year after year. The Bogleheads have a famous saying, time in the market beats timing the market. I'm going to say that again because it's that important. Time in the market beats timing the market.
Okay, so we've reframed our mindset. We've taken control of our cash flow. We're building wealth. But that brings us to the final and maybe the most crucial piece of the puzzle. What is all this for? Why are we even doing any of this? This is about the payoff, about redefining what the good life actually is.
Because the end goal here isn't just to have a giant pile of money. It's about freedom. It's about escaping that hamster wheel of work, spend, repeat. Juliet Schor's book, The Overspent American, gives us a roadmap out. Things like avoiding the places that tempt you to spend, reclaiming holidays from commercialism, focusing on experiences, not things. It's about consciously choosing to make time for what's valuable, not just what's profitable.
And really, this is the idea that ties it all together. Money is not the goal. Money is a tool. It's a tool that you can use to build a life that actually reflects your true values. It gives you the power to stop trading away your precious life energy for stuff you don't need, and to start designing a life that is authentically, unapologetically yours. So I want to leave you with the same question we sort of started with. Take a second and really think about it. If money were completely off the table, what would you do with your life? What would your day look like? Whatever that answer is, that's not just a fantasy. That's your North Star. That's the blueprint. It's the compass that should guide every single financial choice you make from this day forward. Thanks for coming on this journey with us.